Hey, Tiny T Prepper here, and I'm getting ready to set up my PRO XLDRT tiller. This is a DR from online. If you go to DR, and it's DR PRO XLDRT Rototiller. I had this shipped here, so we'll get her set up and get her unboxed and see how she looks. And just to let you know, on this tiller, it does come with a specified weight, about 200 pounds, I think it is. So when you get this, you can get it with a lift gate, I think, at no extra charge. But to move it around, you're going to need either a few big guys to help move it, probably 4 at least, and that you can move it around if you have to unload it. If you go someplace to pick it up or whatever, just be aware it's heavy, and that you'll need something that way. Or if you have a forklift, that would work too, some kind of forklift or equipment that way. But anyway, it is heavy, and you do need to get something that you can move it with that way. I wanted to show you these tie straps. They come like this. They're ones that you can cinch down and pull tighter, it looks like. And normally I just cut these things, but if you look at this buckle on here, I loosened it up some just by sliding that up through there. And you can take that out that way and reuse these if you needed to on something rather than cut them. So that's kind of a neat little deal. So I'm going to go ahead and take these other ones off, and then we'll open the box and see what we got. And now with those straps off, you can just lift this box up off there. It's not attached on the bottom. It's only held on over that with the straps to the pallet that it's on. So anyway, I'm going to lift that box off and see what we got. Now I've taken a little bit of the packing off there, thrown it in this box I took off because it makes a nice box to throw stuff in. So I'm just removing stuff around it. It's just sitting on there. Seems fairly well packed. Anyway, let me get the rest of that stuff off there and see what we got. Okay, I got it pretty well unpacked here, and it looks like for the handle that this goes where those 2 bolts are. There's a couple holes to line up. Let me see if I can get a hold of that a little better. There, you can kind of see where there's 2 holes and the 2 bolts down there that looks like it lines up on. And that should be the mounting of the handle, I think. And you can see that's the controls and everything up there. Set that down. And then we got some instructions here with a few parts. I'll take a look and see where those go. And then I got this bar here. I think that's the one that you adjust for going up and down, maybe, on the tiller, for how the depth is on it. And then we got this rod here. Not quite sure where that goes yet, but I'll take a look at the instructions and we'll see what we got. Just taking a look at everything here. Got the handle laid down there, looking to make sure there wasn't any damage during the shipping, and everything seems to look good. You never tell until you actually get it out and use it. But so far I think everything survived the shipping on it, so that part we should be good on. That's a first glance there. That it shows that you need to check if it comes with it. So you got the 2 washers, which I got here, a small washer, and another middle-sized washer, which I also have. Then this part here, which is there. And then I got the 2 what do they call those, pins of some kind, cotter pins. So I got those 2, and I got this one, which is some kind of knob, and then a bolt here, which I have all the ones that they show there. Now it also came with this tool here, which is some kind of socket tool that goes like that, and it's got this bar that goes through the hole up here, so you can turn and tighten whatever it is you need to tighten. And I ain't quite sure what that fits on yet. But anyway, then the other part I had was this one. This is the depth. I was correct. It shows as a depth. You put that in like this, and that flat part rides on the ground to keep it from supposedly going down in the dirt when you get that set to the height that you want to go by putting it in there. And this is the transmission. I think it said shifting or shift rod. It didn't say transmission, but shift rod. That's so you can shift it, I guess, into gear or out of gear. Probably reverse too, because this one's supposed to go reverse. But it's either shifting for the motor or shifting for the tines. Alright, so anyway, that's all the parts. It looks like we got everything that comes with it. I'll read a little bit here on setting it up. Now it does say here that you need two 13mm wrenches or sockets and a 10mm wrench or socket plus a pair of pliers. So I'll hunt those out, and the first thing we did do is mount that handle down there. There's two bolts that came in. I'm going to remove those two bolts and get that mounted so it's up and out of the way. Okay, I removed these two bolts here, the one up here and the one down here. They were just on finger tight, so I was able to remove those real easy. And I just set them over here, and these are the ones, there's 13mm on each end, so I'm going to line the handle up over here, down in here, and get these threaded through the hole and tighten those down. Okay, I threaded those both through there. I haven't put the nuts on them yet, but I got them threaded through so it holds the handle up here. And next thing is to use the two wrenches. You can use a box end or open end wrench or something. On here I got two sockets, two wrenches, so I'm going to use those to tighten her down. Okay, now to put this shifting rod on, you got to put it right into this hole right here, going from the top down, and then this other one side will go in this lever up here. So probably easier to put that bottom one in first, and then put this other side in up here. And you're going to connect those with these two larger washers, and I guess those are called bridge clips in the instructions, but whatever these are, cotter keys, bridge clips. But anyway, you get to pin them in with these. With the two larger washers in this, there's a hole through this rod on both sides. You can see it there. Where is it at? There it is. You put the washer on, then put the clip in there. Alright, let me get those clipped in, and we'll go on to the next step. So that one's in up there with the washer, and this one down below here is in with the washer also. Now I thought about turning that upside down so it'd be easier to clip, and then this would just go in from the other side. It'd come in from this side and come out over here with the clip if I turn that around, but I'm not sure if that'd work right or not. It seemed like it should work just as good, but it would tend to fall down a little bit more and be resting on that washer and pin all the time. So I didn't think that was a good way to go, but certainly an option if you, I guess, if you couldn't get it in the other way. But they show this way in the instructions to put them from this side going out here and from the top going down. Now the next step had taking this nut and screw out, that this was zip tied someplace on here for shipping, but this one came with it on the handlebar already, and it seems to be, they said make sure on the tightness that it can move freely, and it seemed like it moves freely on the throttle there. So that's the step I didn't have to do on this because they already had it done. So I was trying to figure out, because when I was looking at it I couldn't understand, but this looked like it was supposed to be the final position. It's got over here for the throttle showing the speed, so all the way back is slow, and going forward you go faster. So that's a step you won't have to do if yours is affixed to the handle like mine was. But if it comes to where this bolt and stuff is just through here and this is hanging down zip tied on your handle, then you'd have to take that bolt out, and you would need some kind of Allen wrench to go in there to take that off, or I guess you'd use a right nut, but you'd probably have to hold it there to keep it from just twisting all the time. So you would need an Allen wrench, but in this case I don't need one because that step's done. Okay, I slid that depth setting rod up through from the bottom. Now what I did, this lifts real easy now, and I just got a shovel and put it up underneath the handle to hold it up. Still sitting on the crate with the wheels, and that gives me enough room under there. If I lift this up, you can see I got that threaded up through there. You see how it goes up in. And that just tells how deep it can go. The higher you raise this up, the deeper it'll till. Now I've got this, they say, in the lock position here, and to unlock it I pull it over here and I can raise and lower it. But before I do that, I'm going to put a handle on just like what they have on here, and that's what this other nut and this other bolt and washer are for. They say you may need pliers to tighten up on this handle, so we'll see if I have to get the pliers out, if I can hold that plastic handle like they have there by hand. Get this on there. Okay. This goes through here, and the plastic handle goes on from there. Okay, I'm going to get a wrench to hold that, or pliers, and tighten it up just a little bit more, then that should be good. Okay, I got that one on there. I didn't tighten that I didn't bear down on it. I got it nice and snug and tighten it, but I was afraid I might crack that handle. They said it's plastic, but I didn't want to go too much more than what it was there, what I got now. And this did take a 13 socket on here, so if you're going to do that, you do need a 13mm socket, same as what the other ones were. I don't know if there's a difference here, but or if it'd make a difference. This is supposed to be the lock position to lock it in here, but you've noticed there's not a lot of room there. But if I let that go all the way down, then it's got a little bit more space going through there, so it's less likely to go one way or the other. And then go out here to unlock it. That's where you'd unlock it, and I think that's what stops something. I don't know. I have to read what that lever does there, but it goes down like that for shipping. But it's probably supposed to be in a lock position, so it can't move one way or the other. And this one here, same thing. If I put it down away from there, it doesn't have a lot of clearance. So I'd almost feel better if they had some kind of pin in nose, keep them from coming off the end. But anyway, I guess you couldn't do that because you want it to come clear out. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave mine down and loose here. Might make a little noise when it rattles, but that pin goes through a little bit farther to hold those. Anyway, we'll go on to the next step. Last thing I got in this rubber stop here that screws into this bolt right here, and what that does is this is a rubber stop, so when this comes up, it only goes so far. It won't go any farther. It just stops that from coming up. So I'm going to screw that in there. Might need a little wrench. I tried screwing it in by hand, but it didn't quite go that easy. So anyway, give that a try and get that on. Now for this, you'll need 2 wrenches. You'll need a 13 to hold that one, and you'll need a 10 for the one that's going to tighten down for the rubber stop. So don't forget to put that lock washer on there, and we'll get that done. But I tried doing by hand, but like I said, it just screwed a little bit too tight for that, and so I'm going to go ahead and use a 10mm on this one that's in my hand, and use the 13 that I have down there and tighten that down. Okay, not sure what happened here, but this is the first complaint I got on it. Either the threads in that nut or the threads on the end of this did not work on it. When I tried to tighten it up, it just stripped these here, so I'm going to try and re-thread this and re-thread that there, and see if I can get it to take. So I don't think that's the end of the world. If I didn't ever get it on there, it just means this would open up farther, but I think I'd like to get it in place, but it's supposed to, and not quite sure why that part missed quality control, I guess, and the threads are either got messed up on this, but it was in a plastic bag, so I wouldn't have thought so. And compared to that one, maybe they just didn't have threads in it, but I'll get my tools out to re-thread these and see what we can do to get it in there. Here it is all set up. Next video will be on its operation, and I'll have to give that a try. But anyway, it's pretty nice, well balanced. I lowered the handles down for me. I'm not real tall, but they got pretty good adjustment here. You just loosen this lever up, and then you can raise or lower the handle this much by just moving it. Let me show you that. Just undo this where it's loose, and then you can move that up. I'll loosen that a little bit more. There we go. There you go. You can raise that up pretty high. That's where it was when I started. And I kind of need it a little bit low, probably about as low as it goes for me. And just tighten that back up clockwise. That locks that down. And you adjust that to what height is comfortable for you. So that's pretty good for me. I think right about there. Here, shifting lever. Shifting lever seems a little. Yeah, that's because it's not running. I'm not sure, but leave it neutral right there. So shifting is a little bit hard, and I read that on some of the reviews that it was. So that's through the form, but I've read that on several of these tillers, so we'll see how it works as far as when it's operational. Anyway, I need to read up, see if I need to put oil in this. Probably do need to put gas, but not sure about oil. So, but I'll read up on that, and we'll see if we get this thing going here and see if we can do some tilling.